Hi everybody. Today Kev and I want to talk about DJI goggles and at least the experience that we've had with the ones that I've owned. When I first started flying, I had a Phantom 4 Pro. After a little while, I wanted to be able to, for Kev to be able to look and see what I see. And I bought, I don't have them anymore, I gave them away, but they were a big set, they were about this big. And big picture inside. The only drawback I had for that particular set was the weight on them. And then the other thing was for Kevin to be able to see, he had to be connected to a wire. There was no wireless transmission for the Phantom 4. There was for a V2, the Phantom 4 V2 later on, but not the Phantom 4 Pro that I had. So he had to be sitting virtually right next to me, and it was very clunky, very hard to use. I wound up giving those to a friend who had the V2, and he has an autistic son, and he pretty much does the same thing with them. And after that, my next foray was when I actually got the Avata. And when I got the Avata, I got this version. This is the actual V2. And these are, well, they didn't come with the little eyeballs. I put those on there, but these are pretty good. I like them. They have their own antennas right here. These are some different aftermarket ones I put on, but those have to be screwed on every time you put them on, and then you can take them off when you put them up. So that's the only drawback. They do have a battery a detachable battery on the back. Although it's kind of bulky, that in a way I like it, because when you're flying, if you've got the goggles on too long, you can actually just pop in another battery and keep flying. Okay, after the V2 goggles, I actually got I wanted to get some better goggles to fly with. I got the Integras. And here's the Integras. Their antennas are different. They fold in and out like this. The only drawback from them and the other two goggles I previously referenced is the field of view inside here is smaller. They do have the ability to adjust your vision if you wear glasses, things like that, in these things. And the battery is in this thing here, so you don't have to pop it in and out. It does adjust with this thing. I like the best thing about this particular drone. With the other ones that I mentioned, you had to have your phone hooked up to them. So the V2 and the goggles, you had to have the phone right there. So that's a wire hanging down. These didn't. You can actually fly without your phone, which is a huge advantage. So I wanted to get something in audience mode. I'd heard about the Goggles 2, heard of it, didn't read enough. The Goggles 2 actually you're able to stream to them, which I thought was pretty cool. So I wanted to get that for Kevin so I could use it for other purposes, which I still haven't done. But the only drawback to these, if you fly with the drone with these, you have to connect them to a phone. I don't know why, but that's just the way the system is on this. Again, when it comes to the Goggles 2, you're not really missing out on much other than being able having to connect to a phone, which is a lot. But yeah, if you get this over the Integra, myself, if I'm flying, like I've watched in the audience mode with the Goggles 2, and it looks exactly the same. So there's no real big difference unless the phone thing's a hassle to you. And I want to move on to the Goggles 3. Now these came with the Avata 2. And when I got them, I figured that I would be able to connect the other drones. Well, first, I read that they were never going to connect the V2, that the technology was obsolete, so that was out. But I figured either the Integras that I had or the Goggles 2 would be able to be used with the Avata 2 drone and in audience mode with these. That didn't happen. Even when they did update the software where the Goggles 2 and the Integras will actually work if you're flying the drone with them, it doesn't have all the options that you're going to have on this one, and I'll go over the options on that are on the features that are on the Goggles 3 in just a second. Let me go over the features with the Goggles 3. One of the things they have, that you can see right here, these little holes right here, these are actual cameras where you can see externally. So if you have them on, you can see who's in front of you. There's a way you tap on one side of the goggles, it turns them on. Tap on the other, it turns them off. The drawback that I've seen is like it's kind of dangerous if you're flying, because it puts the window that you have to see to look where you're at when you're flying very small in the corner, and it's hard to fly with that. But if you've got the ground stationary and somebody walks up and you want to see who that person is without taking them off, I mean, that's something you could do. So I'd say they're kind of gimmicky. The other thing is they do have this little pad right here on the top that goes against your forehead. And what that does is when I put it on, basically I have them out like that, and then you can move the goggles inward like that, and it fits toward your eye sockets a lot better, so you don't get light in or anything like that. So they're a pretty good set of goggles. I do like them. But anyway, if you have any questions, just please put them in the comments, and God bless. Take care. Bye.